Today I'm going to make a Sicilian style pizza out on the Gozney Dome Gen 2 XL. Yeah, it's going to be delicious. We're going to be putting some Spanish Chorizo on this. It's going to be terrific at the end there. First though, we got to get our dough in our pan. Now, this is my 63% hydration dough. I'll put a link in the video description to this dough. It's kind of an all-purpose dough that I like to use for a lot of different things. Just regular old Neapolitan style, New York style, Detroit style, and like this, a Sicilian style, which is kind of a pan pizza. It's not very deep like a Detroit style. I want to get a generous amount of olive oil in here. Just going to rub this around. Make sure you get in the corners, on the sides. We're going to be parbaking this, which just means we're going to be putting just the dough in the oven for about 5 or 6 minutes without the flame going, just to pre-cook the dough. Then we'll be topping it and getting it back in there. That works really well with Detroit style and with Sicilian style like this. At least I find that it does. We're going to get our dough in, and this is an 800-gram dough ball. And I just want to start working it. It's not going to reach its full stretch right now. We're going to have to get it in here, get it generally stretched, and then let it rest for probably about 20 minutes or so, and you might have to do that a couple different times. Kind of treating this like a focaccia, if you'll see. You're just kind of poking it and stretching it as you go. Another thing you can do is kind of lift it up, let gravity help you along. This dough has been cold fermenting for 48 hours. So you can see it just doesn't want to go all the way yet. So we're going to cover this with some plastic wrap and let it sit for 20 or 30 minutes. It's okay if it touches the dough there. There's a good amount of olive oil on this dough from when it was doing its cold ferment. All right, I'm going to set this aside for 20 or 30 minutes. And in the meantime, we're going to get our sauce ready. So I'm going to be using some whole peeled tomatoes. And what I want to do first is I want to get some of that liquid off. Now we're using that tomato water to kind of put on the dough before you parbake it, so it helps keep it moist. So I've got a strainer here in a bowl, and we're just going to get the water off, get our tomatoes in there. And then what I want to do is I'm going to transfer the tomatoes into this container. And we'll also add any of the really thickened liquid that's left after the straining. Get a spoon here. I'm going to transfer that tomato water to another dish, and we're just going to hold on to that until we're ready to get our pizza crust ready to parbake. I want to add a teaspoon of salt, this is kosher salt. And I'm going to get my immersion blender here and just break these down. Okay, I'm going to get a lid on this. We're going to get it in the refrigerator, and then when our dough is ready, we'll be back to stretch it. Maybe this next stretch will be enough, but it could take a couple times of letting it rest. All right, our dough has been resting for about 25 minutes. Let's see if we can stretch it the rest of the way, or if we need to give it a little more time. It's looking good. Yeah, it's feeling more pliable here. See, like your little hole? That is not a big deal in a pan like this. In fact, we are going to be putting some holes in it called docking it so that it doesn't have a lot of bubbleage as we parbake it, even though you probably will get some. See if we can stretch our corners a little bit. Almost there, but I think we're going to want to let it rest probably another 15 minutes. We're just about there. You can see if we start pulling it towards the corners, it stays closer, but still stretchy. That's that gluten in there doing its job. Get our plastic wrap back on. This helps retain moisture so it doesn't dry out. And we'll come back in about 15 minutes, and I think by then we'll be able to get a good stretch right to the edges. Might be a few spots where it's not quite there, but that's okay. All right, we've been going another 15 minutes. Let's finish stretching this. It's looking good. Sometimes I like to go around and just sort of pinch it against the side, just to help pull it that way. I think that's pretty good there. That's looking pretty good. I'm not going to fight this anymore. Now what I'm going to do is dock this, and that's just using this tool to put kind of some indentations and holes in this, so it helps prevent it from puffing up too much. There will be some puffing, but that's when parbaking, after we get it out and top it, that settles down. If you don't have one of these, just use a fork and sort of poke holes in it. Get our corners one more time here. Let's get a little bit of our tomato water on the top here, just so it doesn't dry out when it is parbaking. Now the oven right now is about 650 degrees. The deck temperature is also at about 650 degrees. And we're gonna turn the flame off when we go out there and put the door on once we get this in. We're gonna go about 3 minutes, then rotate it another 3 minutes, and usually that's good to give this a good parbake. Then we'll get it out, top it, and get it back in. Then once it sets for probably 2 or 3 minutes, we're gonna take it out of the pan and get it directly on the stone to finish up. But this is looking terrific right here. Let's get this out in the pizza oven. I'm gonna turn off the flame. Pan in there. Go for about 3 minutes. All right, we've been going about 3 minutes. So we got some good puffing there. Turn this around. Get our door back on. Another 3 minutes. All right, we've been going 3 minutes. Oh yeah, we got some bubbleage. Look at that. Let's get this over to our work table and top it. Our pan is very hot, but I want to lift this up here just so you can see we're starting to get color on there. That's what that parbaking helps do. First thing I want to get in here is some cheese. And this is a 60-40 blend of mozzarella and white cheddar. And if some slips down the side, don't worry. A little Detroit-like, but we're not really trying to build that frico on the side. Now I'm actually going to hit it with some sauce. Kind of some stripes of sauce, a little bit like Detroit. Again, this is my version of a Sicilian style pizza. You could put sauce first if you want, totally up to you. Now I'm going to top this with some Spanish Chorizo. I'm going to try and put this kind of like where the slices will go. Now I also have the flame going again on the Gozney to reheat it and to get that stone back up to temp. When we put this in the pan again, we're going to turn the flame off just like we did before, put the door on, let it bake, and then after a few minutes, we'll take it out of the pan, get it directly on the stone. Get this with a little fresh parm. Again, you can put as much cheese on here as you want, as much sauce. Really, the Parbake is what really helps this. All right, let's go ahead and get our pizza back in. We're going to turn our flame off. Pizza in. Get our door on. We're going to go for probably about 3 minutes. All right, we've been going 3 minutes. Oh, look at that. We're going to go for another 3 minutes there, and we'll get it off the pan and onto the stone. Oh, look at that. Let's move this over and get it out of the pan. Pizza back in here right on the stone. Get our flame going to kiss that top. Big pizzas like this, it's a little harder to turn, but we can do it. You can use a big peel if you need to. Just slide it out and turn it on the peel. I think we are about done here. That's a good looking pizza. So we're going to get this off our cooling rack here, but look at the underside. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to hit this with just a little sprinkling of oregano here. Some dried oregano and some fresh basil. This is basil off of a basil plant in my little tower garden. Let's go ahead and cut this and have a taste. I think I'm going to grab this corner slice here. Nothing to do but taste. That fresh tomato sauce, not cooked, just with some salt, is so good on this. It's just such a bright flavor. Now, there's nothing wrong with cooked tomato sauces for pizza, but for this one, it really works well. Let's get a bite with some of that chorizo. A lot of times it's hard to find that cured Spanish chorizo. It's kind of like a salami. If you can find it, though, it's fantastic on pizza, especially on something like this where you've got a large mass of dough and you maybe want to pluck one piece on each piece. Tastes great.